make sure you install your packet tracer and send the packet tracer to the group first. And when you want to launch that packet tracer, disconnect your internet connection because it will ask you for login details, your NetAcad login details. But you don't need that. You can use the packet tracer without NetAcad login details. So just disconnect from the internet and launch the packet tracer, and it will launch. But if you launch the packet tracer just like that, it will just give you that interface that I showed you in our last class where I was building the network. But what we want to do, Cisco has already built these things. They've designed these things by themselves. So just make sure you have packet tracer and double click one of the labs that you want to do, or any lab you want to go through. Like now, let's assume I want to go through this navigate the iOS. It's a lab. So if I send you this lab right now and you want to do it, just disconnect from the internet, launch it. So I'm going to go off now, launch it, and then you will see the interface. It will use packet tracer to load. Just like when you want to do Microsoft Word. If you don't have Microsoft Word, you cannot type. So if you don't have packet tracer installed, you cannot do any of these labs. So I will just launch this lab now. As it enroll now, I know when to disconnect. I'll just disconnect from the internet and then I come back before it was. So I'm back now, guys. Can you see my screen? Hello, guys. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So I've launched it. I disconnected so that it can load without me giving the what is it called? The packet tracer login details from NetAcad. So this
Hello,
is
sir.
yeah. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
sir. This one is very, very clear. This concerning this,
Did I give you guys this one too?
yes,
It's clear to you, but let's do it together because of others.
yes, sir.
So
Is
you
that
have problem
sorry,
with
sir,
the one
to
of the switch,
interrupt?
right?
Yes, sir. I say sorry to interrupt you. It was that the other one was complicated. That is the
Which
second
one?
lab. The
Which
second
one is
lab. It
that?
was two lab. It
The
was two
one that
lab.
has to do with switch, right?
Yes,
I will
that's
do it now, and you will still see
okay.
that it is not complicated at all. It is very easy.
Okay, sir. All right, sir.
I will do the two labs. The reason why I want to do this one is because, what's it called? Aliyu has not done it. You, Toby has not done it. So Aliyu has not done it. Toby has not done it.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir.
It
No
will be
problem.
like a revision for them.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's
Sure,
just
sir.
do it together. Or
Yes,
I
sir.
should allow you to teach us since you have done
No, sir. No, let's do it, sir.
it. All right. So if you take a look at this is packet tracer activities designed by Cisco, not me. I didn't design this. I did not design this. It was designed by Cisco. Do you understand? So
Yes, sir.
one of the reasons why we get how do I put now? Unique result in this training. Let me say me, one of my secrets in this training is all these labs I give to my students. Because the labs will cook you. It will cook you, eh? You cannot finish those labs and not know what you are doing. The labs will cook you. By the time you go out there for interview, there is no angle they are coming from that you cannot handle. If you are grounded in these things. So it's not just about teaching you technology. I can teach you the technology, you understand the technology, you think you know everything about technology, but I bet it with you, if you don't practice, you will be shocked that by the time you want to start doing some of those things, you are not really grounded. So this is one of our secrets. And because me, I'm an instructor from the Cisco Academy, that's why I have access to all of these things. You can't go to any trainer out there that is teaching you CCNA if you don't have access to all of this. And they will have to design labs their own way, which is not as solid as Cisco's own. So this is a plus for me as a trainer. And these are all the things we've used over the years to build our students. So now, what do we have here, guys? See, oh, sorry. See the objectives here. You see the title of the lab. It's Packet Tracer, you can see that. So see the objectives here. Navigate the iOS. That's the main thing about this lab. We want to navigate, move around within the operating system of Cisco. So what are the objectives? Part 1, establish a basic connection. Access the CLI. CLI is command line interface. Explore app. In part 2, explore executive modes. Part 3, set the clock. In this lab, these are just the only thing they want you to do. Okay, so what's the background? What's the scenario? In this activity, you will practice skills necessary for navigating the Cisco areas. I've explained these Cisco areas to you guys, such as different user access modes, various configuration modes, common commands used on a regular basis, and you will also practice accessing the context-sensitive app by configuring the clock commands. So these are all the things they are expecting us to do. Okay, that's not a problem. So let's continue. Now, there's the beauty. They will now give you instruction. Now, let's assume I've not even taught you this. You can sit down on this thing if you have, it's just that you want to spend more time. You can sit down on these things and learn some things by yourself because they will still explain them in this lab for you. So the instruction. Part 1, establish a basic connection. Access the CLI and explore help. And they are giving you the step. Connect PC1 to S1 using a console cable. We did something like that in our lab. So I'm going to skip all of this and just go ahead and do it. They're giving you all of the steps on what to do. I did it in the last class. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that here. So look at they gave us one computer and one switch. They said we should connect this computer to the switch, not for data connection, not for data, not for browsing, for the purpose of configuration. So what will I do? I'll go and get cable, then get console, CO, console, then click this computer, go to fast Ethernet. Sorry, fast Ethernet is for, I made a mistake, it's for data, sorry, that should be console port. So click the cable, go to the computer, come to RS232. I spoke about it in that video. Click it, take it to the switch. Which port do I need to connect to? Console port. I'll click the console port. I've done the connection. All of this long story in step 1, I just did that. All this step 1 here, I just did that. Step 2, what do they want us to do in step 2? Establish a terminal connection. If you remember in our class, I said you need a physical connection and you need a logical connection. So we need the software on this computer to access the switch for the purpose of configuration. So what will I do? I will click the computer, go to desktop, go to terminal. I spoke about this software, Hyperterminal, TeraTerm, and Putty. This is something for us to use in Packet Tracer. And click OK. The moment you click OK, you hit enter, you're on the switch. So you are done with physical connection. You are done with logical connection. All of these things I spoke about in that class. Step 3, they say you should explore the iOS app. So now I am in users mode. What are the commands that I can issue at this environment? How do you see the command? You just put question mark. I said that in that class too. Okay. Then say, okay, which command begins with letter C? At the prompt, type T and then a question mark. So if you are trying to issue a command, for instance, now you remember that the command starts with T or whatever. You can't remember it. Like in this place right now, I have telnet start with T. I have terminal start with T. I have tracer start with T. I can't really remember the complete command. I can type T first. If I type T and put question mark, it will give me all the commands that came with that start with T. That's how we use the help command. So if it is not telnet I want to use, or let's say I can put E. So if you look at all of these commands right now, there are 2 commands that started with TE. If I put question mark right now, it will take it down to only those 2 commands. So if I now type L right now, I can press tab key. It will complete that command for me. This is how we use help command. So you must remember the beginning, at least one letter of the command, and then put question mark. And as you grow in this thing, guys, you're going to learn how to use these help commands frequently. I don't know all the commands by heart. I don't know all the commands by heart. I don't know all the commands by heart, but I know what I want to do. Once I get to that environment, if I'm cracking my brain, I'm trying to do this. So once I remember, sometimes I don't even, once I put question mark like this, I will now go and look for that. Oh, this is the command I'm trying to use. Then I put that command. If I can't remember the next command after it, I'll keep on using question mark, question mark, question mark. You are going, that is the app command now, or iOS app. So question mark, we will use question mark a lot to learn how to finish commands. And that's a skill you're going to develop with time. So I've taken care of this. So if you press question mark, you see it will display list of commands. If you press TE, it will display list of other commands that are associated with TE, and so on and so forth. I'm done with part 1. So let me go to part 2. They said we should explore exec mode. What do we want to explore there? We want to move from where we are now to privilege mode. We are at user executive mode. So at this prompt, you press question mark. It gives you the list of commands. And then how do you move to the next level? We said enable. Look at it here. All the things that I taught in the video, they're also explaining it here. Okay, so, and I can, instead of typing enable, I can just type EN and press tab key, and that will finish the command for me. So what is enable command for? To turn on a privilege command. So if I type EN right now and press tab key, it has completed the command for me. If I hit enter, I'm now in privilege mode. So they are giving you skills, shortcuts, commands as we proceed. I didn't talk about all of these shortcuts at the initial stage. I was going to be talking about it as we proceed. But since it's in the labs, you need to get used to this. Okay, so Benga said this one is very easy. So you guys can see that it's easy. So now we're in another prompt. They said, at this prompt where you are right now, type question mark. Why would I want to type question mark? I want to see the list of available commands at that environment. I did that under my class also. So if I press question mark right now, look at the list of commands. And I told you in that class, when you see more, you can press spacebar to see the remaining page, or enter key to keep on seeing them line by line. So if there's any command you need in this place, let's say as though you forgot, once you open the use it, you just remember that the command is at privilege mode. Since it's at privilege mode, then you put a question mark. Then you can now go and through the list of all the commands that are there. Then you pick maybe T, for instance. Okay, we have done T before. Let's say have reload now. I can put question mark. There are 2 commands that has to do with start with R. So what about he? If I put question mark, both of them have he. So it's not going to streamline it down again. What if I put L and put this? It's going to streamline. It's only one command. I'll start with reload. Then I can issue that command, and then I'm good to go. So the same way you use this help commands at users mode, it's also the same way you use the command at privilege. I mean the help command at privilege mode. So take note of that. So now the next thing is, this lab is just basic. Enter the global configuration mode. Why will you want to go into global configuration mode? Because where we are right now, you cannot do you can't make major changes to the router, to the switch. You cannot give the switch a name. I said that in that class too. So if you want to give the switch a name, I need to go to global configuration mode. And how do I go to global configuration mode? You say configure terminal. Configure terminal, and then you hit enter. It takes you to global configuration mode. I'm jumping now. You hit enter, it takes you to global configuration mode. So you can read all of the stories that are here. You're going to see. And I said, you can take a step backward from where you are, like where we are right now. I'm at global configuration mode. What if I want to go backward? I can type end command, end, or I can type exit. End command will take me a step backward. Exit will take me a step backward. I think there's one more. Log out also. Control Z also will take me a step backward. Look at those commands there. End will take me a step backward. Exit will take me a step backward. Control Z will take me directly to privilege mode, regardless of where I am. These are part of the base. So you must know how to navigate users mode, to privilege mode, to global configuration mode, get out of that environment, and so on and so forth. These are part of the phase 1 of your configuration you need to learn. And part 3, I think, is the last part. They want us to set clock. Part of what you do on the switch is you set the time, because it doesn't come with correct timing. You set the time. Okay, so we can go back again to the switch. Let's see the time that is on this switch. The command to see that is show clock. Look at what we got. It's telling us in 1993. This is not acceptable. It's not the correct clock. So we can set the time. And the good thing with time is, I think you set time at privilege mode. You set time at privilege mode. So you just say clock. I think it's clock. Okay, yeah, clock. Clock. If I say clock now and put question mark, you see, it's telling me set, because I can't remember the next command. So I've put set now, space bar, question mark. It gives me the format. Hours first, followed by month, followed by minute, followed by seconds. So this is now 10, colon, 29, colon, 00. If I put question mark right now, it's asking me for a day of the month, which is today is 7. Then to 6, I think. This is where I used to miss this one. I think I still missed it in the last class. This is month is June. I think it's this one is, we have to type it, 2025. Beautiful, I remember now. So if I put that show clock again right now, you see that this my clock as the time is correct, the date is correct. These are first stuffs you need to learn how to do in this lab here. So if you go back to that lab now, you see the steps there. They are explaining the steps there. You want to use the clock command. Why do you need clock command? You want to set the clock. I just did that for you now. So if you don't know the command, you can be using that question mark and so on and so forth. Then you set, then and so on and so forth. So these are just straightforward stuff. Basics. We have not even gone to giving the switch a name. For me, giving the switch a name should be part of the basics, which I will just add name. What if I want to give this switch a name? I go to global configuration mode. I will say host name. Maybe you'll see that in another lab. Host name, let's say CCNA. If I say this now, hit enter, you see that our name, the name of our switch, has changed to CCNA. Basically, that is just what this first lab is. This lab shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes. You guys see that I spent like 19 minutes to do this lab. Just the basics. Know how to move from one level of prompt to another level, and how to go backward. And another thing I would like to add to this, Control Z will take me directly to privilege mode, and then I'll hit enter. I should learn to save my work. Don't forget I said all our configurations are in the RAM now. This time where we set is in the RAM. The name we give is in the RAM. We have not given password though, so I can now save my job by saying copy, running config, spacebar, startup config. Why am I doing this? Everything in the RAM is called running configuration. Everything is in the NVRAM is called startup configuration. So we want to move whatever we have right now in the RAM into our NVRAM, meaning our temporary storage center that contains our present configuration. We are keeping a copy in the NVRAM, which is like your hard drive. And that's why the one in the hard drive that is called startup config is also called backup config. Why? If I shut down this switch right now and I reload the switch again, there's nothing in the RAM. So it has to go to the NVRAM and copy that configuration file into the RAM and effect it. And that's why you see the name of the switch as CCNA. But if we don't save our work and shut down this switch right now, everything is gone. If I hit enter right now, it should tell me the destination file name is startup config. I'll say it's okay, that's the name. If you don't want the name, you can give a different name. I will hit enter and I'll save my work in the NVRAM. Yes, Benga.
Sir, sir, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. In this lab, like the lab you sent, that first lab, that this one you're doing now,
Is it not the
Cisco.
first lab?
Yes, it's the first lab. I said, this one they didn't say we should rename the what's the name,
I know,
the
I know.
file.
I said it earlier. I say I am adding this. It should be part of the first phase. You can see
Yeah,
it in
yes,
another
sir.
lab.
I just want to ask a question, sir. I know, sir.
Yeah.
You said so. So now, like now that we like assuming now we follow the lab, like this that is the first lab that Cisco gave us. If we finish like with the lab and if we want to save it, like when we save it, understand, without naming it, the
What kind
all
of
the
saving
files will
are
be
you
saved.
saving the configuration or saving the lab itself?
No,
What I mean by
yeah,
saving the lab,
the
let's say
lab, like all your works, if you want to save it now, like if you want to come back,
I
like
will show you how to
at
save it.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I will show you how to
All right,
save
sir.
it. So that, for instance, now let's assume you want to send that lab to me
Yes,
for
sir.
me to see that you have done it. You
Yes.
need to learn how
And
to
the
save
work
it.
that you have done, yes, sir. That is what, yes.
Yes, I will show you.
Okay, sir. All right, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So this is but you have to save your configuration first before you save the main lab. You need
Yes.
to save your configuration. So now I want to add one or two things to this. We are going to see them in another lab. What if I want to see the content of what is in my RAM, or I want to see my running configuration? I will say show running config. Show me what you got in your configuration file. If I hit enter right now, this is my configuration file. Look at them. There are some default things in that configuration file. So the only thing we added now, you can see host name, CCNA. Now, when you see more, don't forget what I told you. You press enter key or space bar to keep on going. Look at, it has an IP address. This one, why did he have this? I didn't put this. Okay, they must have put this. That is the Cisco themselves. It has an IP address. It has a default gateway. We have not configured line console 0. We have not configured line v2. This is my running config. What if you want to see what is in the startup config, which should be the same since we have saved? You say show startup config. It should be the same. This is our backup. Everything there should be the same. This is how you navigate. So learn to save your job. Learn to check the RAM, the running config, the NVRAM, and of course, what if I want to reload? I want to restart my device from command line. I will say reload. These are new commands that I'm adding that are not in this particular lab. We're going to see the need for those commands as we proceed. That's the end of that particular lab. Any question, guys? Benga, is it okay? You said this one is not difficult, so I should be asking Toby and Aliyu.
Yes, sir. So this is actually straightforward. I think it is clear.
So how are you having problem in our last class? Because maybe because I went deeper.
I guess, but this is not even actually these labs, they make it easier actually. They will tell you what to do, how to do. It's like its own learning model by itself.
Yes. And you know what I do for my students? There are some labs that don't have the steps. You must have done the one that have the steps. When we can get to the difficult level, they will give you some that have the steps. They will give you some labs that don't have the steps. So they believe that you have done the one with steps. Now do the one without steps. They change it somehow. What I always do for my students, I send them the solution. Because the time you are practicing that lab, I may not be available to respond to your questions or to help you out. And that may be when the anointing is moving for you to study. So what I do is I send the lab, but I tell my student, don't go, I send the lab, I send the solution. Don't look at the solution yet. Do it your own first. If you run into trouble, check the solution. So I have all of that. See, this strategy that I'm using, that this thing is working for me. I know the road, though. Ross, I know the road, and it's working for me.